It's Alea Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast. Everyone loves the tease. Stop. Don't get too excited.
He's sprinting at the car. It's a big ass man. He's sprinting. Me and Kai hurry up, get to the car, lock the doors. Homeboy jumps on the hood of my car and spits on it. At this point, I feel like I'm in a full-on Pretty Little Liars horror movie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. Today is a very important episode. It is our last episode in our Washington apartment. So we have Kai joining us today.
Hi.
Hi, Kai. How does it feel to be back?
It feels good.
So this is a very special episode because it is also number 20. And what better way for Tease to take off to Las Vegas than in her 20s? I'm so freaking excited, and moving has been so stressful, and I'm so ready for it to be over. My stress acne has gotten out of control. Like, I realized from this move that, like, when I'm stressed out, my face pops out. But the positive end is that when I stress out, I also get kind of skinny. So I've been watching Desperate Housewives, so I decided to channel that energy in my outfit. I'm wearing a little black tank and some flared jeans. I feel like a 2000s girl who had her kid really young and now her kid's her best friend. And I just wanted that vibe today. How do you feel?
I'm just cold because you won't let me turn on the heat, so that's just how I'm feeling right now.
So Kai's wearing a blanket because I turned off the heat so the audio quality could be good. Sorry, I prioritized the people. Anywho, looking at you in this black hoodie is making me laugh because whenever I was thinking about this episode, I was thinking of reasons that I'm excited to move. And one of the reasons that I'm excited to move is because I can't stand our fucking neighbors. And guys, recently we've been ordering different furniture. That way the movers will build it for us since it was technically in this apartment. And we ordered these nightstands and it says delivered, but it's delivered to another door. So me and Kai are like, what the fuck? We asked the leasing office. They're like, we don't know what door that is. They had a doormat. And guys, this is a public safety announcement. I don't think I believe in doormats anymore because just from us seeing the doormat that was in the delivery photo, we tracked down this bitch's apartment in under 10 minutes. And I know that if we were like 17, we would have found her in 3 minutes. We would have done it in 1 minute, 60 seconds. So we're going through, we find the apartment, we're knocking on the door, no one's answering. And we're like, why isn't she answering? Like, they have our package, why aren't they answering? And then I look at me and Kai, and we're both in black hoodies, banging on the door, like, excuse me. And I was thinking about that. I was like, no wonder she didn't answer the door for us. She probably thought that we were going to rob her.
Definitely. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I'm tired.
Why are you tired? Is it the move?
I didn't say no. I'm just in the move.
Yeah, we were supposed to record this episode earlier, but then that went south.
Real fast.
I had a panic attack, and so now we're recording at night, which is why Kai's also cozy. But no, I was thinking about that, and I was like, no wonder she didn't answer. But like, honestly, our knocks weren't even that bad. Like, if I was a guy, I would have hit her with the...
No,
boom,
we definitely...
boom, boom.
You knocked like a little girl. Like, you definitely did the like... Toot, toot, toot.
And well, nowadays, like with the schemes, you know what I mean? Maybe they were like, I know this isn't a little girl. This is a crazy person. What are you going to miss about this apartment?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I would say maybe the elevator. The elevator's a nice touch.
I meant like memories, I don't know, triumphs, tribulations. The elevator.
Honestly, we let a lot of weird people into this apartment, so I feel like it just needs to what's it called when you sage? It needs to be like saged to the max.
That is
before another person can move back in.
That is true. We did let a lot of fuck-ass people in here.
Yeah. So for me, this is more of like my I'm on like survival mode in this apartment.
We also let a lot of good people into the apartment.
That's true. That is very, very true.
Yeah, like you see,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
The list. The list ends there. That's the list. That's the good people we let. 2 out of 50.
Yeah.
It's because I always had this thing when I was younger. We had like opposite childhoods, I would say, with this, to where you hosted your friends a lot. I never hosted my friends. Like, we always lived in an apartment. Yeah, we just always lived in an apartment. And when you have the choice to stay in an apartment or like a 6-bedroom house, we all went to my rich friend's house. And so I was really excited to be able to like host different things, especially because I used to do it at my townhouse in San Antonio. So I was like, oh my God, I love hosting. And I think that this apartment taught me, do not host everything. Do not host everyone. Also, whenever we moved in here, we made our guest bedroom and our guest bathroom dedicated to the guests. And I will say the like pro tip for moving that I'm always going to think about is like, don't make your house for other people, make it for you. And so it was like this whole time we could have had 2 bathrooms in use. And this whole time I could have like had maybe like an office in there. But I was too busy thinking about like guests and other people that like this whole half of our apartment we didn't even use for so long. And then when it was finally in use, it was by the wrong people. And so that was a big lesson that I learned from this place. What's a lesson that you learned from this place?
I would say the same thing, honestly. Like, don't make your home for other people. You're the one that's going to live in it. You're the one that pays for it. Like, do what you want to do with it. And then also, I would say, don't let people live with you. Don't let people live with you. Just don't do it.
Yeah, no.
That's it.
Yeah, I will never do that again. I'm excited for Vegas. I'm excited for just like an apartment that has amenities. I don't know if y'all know, guys, but in Vegas, like most of the apartments are like resort styled. Like you have half of like the regulars, you have the other half that are like, they style them to look like resorts, like how the casinos do. And so I'm excited for that because I want to chill at home, but I want to be in my home. I want to be at a pool. I want to be at a sauna. I want to go to a Pilates room. I want to go to a yoga room. I want to go to our outdoor gym. And I am just so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the resort style too because honestly, the soccer field, like I've always been a soccer fan.
Well, you are Colombian.
I am Colombian.
I don't think people know that.
Yeah.
I feel like people should know that you're Latino.
I am Latino. Yeah, I am Colombian, so I have like the soccer roots in me. But like honestly, we are also just thinking about getting a house, like just renting a house. But we like, look at us. You really think me and you can get a house?
No, because my stepdad called me and was like, Alea, and I just saw on Facebook Marketplace. The guys don't even come at me. But someone posted on Facebook Marketplace that there's a 4-bedroom house for $2,000 a month for rent. And I'm like, and my stepdad was like, why don't you just do a house? And I was like, I would want a house, but I actually don't think that I want a house. Because like, I like how an apartment has the security on deck. It has maintenance on deck. Like a
Amenities.
house. Yeah, a house to me, I don't know why, but houses to me, unless there's like a gate or a man in your house, it just seems like a death trap. Like why the... My coworker told me that she has her own house, and I was like, you are the bravest girl I've ever met in my entire life. I don't know, houses freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, honestly, I can't live in a house. Also because with a house comes a gym membership. You need to find a place to go to a pool if you don't have one there. Where are you gonna go, like, to a soccer field? Just, like, right there. Or, like, a beach volleyball court. Like, these are all the amenities we have in our complex. You're telling me that you can have this at your house? Unless you're a billionaire or millionaire. Unless you have some type of money, like, you're not gonna have that with all of your houses, you know? So I feel like just, like, apartment style is just so much easier to do. And it's, like, annoying, like, yeah, like, we are giving money to, like, big corporations. But there's the safety of it. All of those extra costs that you would spend on a house, like, you just have it, you're just paying for it already. It's already all included.
Yeah, I feel like people honestly need to stop shaming people for willingly getting apartments. Like, I feel like all like the TikToks and stuff that I see, because I guess I've been looking at moving a lot, are like, don't buy an apartment, you're burning your money, and like you should get a house. But I think that we need to like, I think there's just so many things nowadays to where social media and that kind of stuff, it's like everyone should do this. Not everyone needs a fucking house. Like for me, having a townhouse I really liked, but there were 3 of us and it was like a college thing. So like I literally knew the guy right next door. But like I just feel like with like 2 women, I don't know how I feel about a house unless like I knew the area like a T, or unless like when I go home, like I know that my stepdad's in the house, you know what I mean? And it's just like unless we have like security or like hire a man to live with us, wouldn't want to do it. Plus, like, even if I clog a drain, like, technically I know how you declog a drain.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, I don't know how to do it. I just, like, have seen people do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But, like, I don't want to learn, and I don't have to learn because we have maintenance.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, we're on the same page. Like, me and Alea, we don't really feel like learning how to be.
I can see why you, because, like, let's say someone did have to, like, be a protector or something. It ain't me.
But it would have to be me, which I don't even want to do either.
Oh my God, you know how the girlies are always like lesbians have it the best and everything?
No.
No, wait, the straight people just got a point. They got a point. Y'all got a point. Congratulations. So the straight people are getting a point.
I feel like the straight people get a point because they do have like, and there is always a man in the house.
That's true.
And I feel like if I were to break into a house, it would not be a straight couple's house.
That's true.
It would be anybody else's house.
Yeah, because I feel like guys, they don't have the most uses in the world. I'm talking about just straight men in a relationship. They're not the most useful. The wife is like the backbone of that whole entire relationship. But they do bring that to a table, like protection and everything. And so I would say that, like, if I had to tell men a compliment or like what they bring to this planet, I would say protection. But then also the protection is against other men a lot of times. So like, does that cancel out? Do they get the
That's true. It's like they're fighting each other.
That is true.
Yeah.
So maybe if we just put them all on an island,
then the world would be probably a little bit safer.
That's true. But there are a couple good ones. Like I would have want my stepdad to go to an island.
No. No. Bring me to Home Depot. I won't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
I actually would argue that I would know.
You know, yeah, she knows Home Depot more than I do. Like, I don't know how to work a saw. I don't know. I barely hit a hammer.
How to work a saw? Isn't a saw manual?
Is it?
Unless it's a chainsaw.
No, there's the ones that are like with circles.
Circles?
Yeah.
No, that's a chainsaw.
Oh. No. They're like a literal circle and you just bring it down and it cuts.
Oh. Isn't
That's what
that
my dad cut
only
his
used by
fingers
like
on.
lumberjacks?
No, it can be used by a lot of people. That's what my dad cut his fingers on, though.
Well, he's not a lumberjack, so that's probably why that happened.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen like people in like the fucking country using that circular tool.
No, it's a popular tool, I think.
I've never seen anyone use it. I did provide our whole toolbox though. It's all in pink. It's super cute.
No, you did.
Yeah.
I didn't provide. I don't like hardware stuff. I don't like to be a handy-mandy. I hate Bob the Builder.
What? Why do you hate Bob the Builder?
I don't hate Bob the Builder. I just don't like him.
So if you had to pick a nightmare blunt rotation, I feel like yours would be Handy Mandy, Chapel Roan, and Bob the Builder.
And Charlie XCX.
I actually like Charlie XCX.
Just her music's so annoying.
I like the one with Lord where they're like in their British accent, like, I thought you hated me, but I hated you. And
I'm sorry. I can't do it.
oh my God, speaking of nightmare blunt rotation, guys, yesterday was Halloween. We didn't do shit for Halloween. Did we do? No. I packed up my whole entire closet for Halloween. That's actually very spooky. That's scary, getting rid of your whole closet. We did that. We have a Halloween party this Saturday on November 2nd. Guys, what's the consensus on celebrating Halloween in November? What's like the consensus? Because I feel like some people absolutely hate it and they're like, doesn't even count. Other people don't really give a fuck and it's not that deep. I don't personally give a fuck. It is like awkward timing a little bit. But on the bright side, like I got to order my costume late.
That's true. I think it's just an excuse to drink again. I think it also depends on what day Halloween like falls on. Because I would rather celebrate it this weekend than this last weekend.
Oh yeah,
Because that's like the 3
soon.
Yeah, that's like what, a 5-day difference.
Yeah.
Around then, that's like about a 5-day difference when this one's only like 2 days. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like
I know. I was a little nervous. I was like, man, we haven't posted anything. I wonder if people think that we're just like losers with no Halloween plans.
no, we're just tired.
Have you ever thought about the fact that Halloween and the election are like within the same 14-day radius? And I feel like that is not good.
It's really not.
Like, you're buying your costumes like during like a peak political whatever. I was thinking about that the other day and I was like, America's funny. Who the fuck came up with this?
I think that's why, honestly, this year I didn't care about my costume. I was like, I have bigger fucking problems. So, like, if somebody wins, I'm gonna have to dress up as a man for the rest of my life, and that's my costume.
Yeah.
So I think that was for me. I was just like, I have bigger shit to worry about than my costume.
Yeah. I think you've just been stressed about everything going on at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch any spooky movies or anything either. Although, the reason why we didn't watch spooky movies is because we've been watching the most fucking scary shows. Guys, Beauty in Black, you have to watch. Don't they have to watch Beauty in Black?
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's #1 on Netflix right now. It's by Tyler Perry, but I think it's like Tyler Perry. Either he's like edgy and on a new leaf, or he created this a while ago and no one approved it because they're like, we don't know who you are, and now he's got the clout to do it. But he put some sort of crack in that show. Some sort of crack. It's really good, kind of, no, very violent. I like the way that they talk, though. Like, they are very intense, and it's kind of like a cool, like...
It's like a Scandal, but, like, make it more...
It's like, it's like Perfect
Hood.
Couple. Why is it hood? Oh, well, I guess it has like the hood aspect.
Yeah, it has the hood
I think it's like, take like the white people narrative of like, you put them in the suburbs and they have all these crazy rich people problems, but then make it black people. But then there's a whole parallel universe of like a hood stripper side, and then they're all connected, and it's just really insane and really intense, and they own a company and it's really cool, and y'all have to watch it.
Like Barry's Barber, he always used to have like this like movie stream thing on, but it was only like black movies.
Oh, like older black movies?
Yeah, not older black movies. I would say like probably, yeah, I would say like kind of oldish, but like new ones too, but the ones that don't have like a lot of funding or budget. Like, you can really tell it's a low budget movie, but they always have the best plots, right?
Honestly,
I feel like all those movies were just put together and thrown into Beauty in Black.
Yeah, but then the acting and the production level,
like,
is
it's actually
high.
Yeah, it's like all those movies got a really high budget, and then it was all thrown into
it's like
TV
people
show.
were like, oh my god, I think, don't call me crazy, I think black people can act. Let's increase that budget. I feel like they saw the Gen Z actors that were like, no, we shouldn't give it to the youngers. We'll give it to someone else who didn't get it. Because Gen Z low-key can't act.
No.
That's one thing about our generation that, like, I will say that we, like, kind of lack, like, slightly. We have a couple good ones. We have some stars in there, but nothing compared to, like, some past generations. I think that we're still working on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, I've kind of felt like I've been living on the edge. Well, not living on the edge, but I feel like I know what it's like to, like, be a drug dealer now.
What?
Guys, well, it's because I've been aggressively selling on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, okay.
I have been aggressively selling shit on Facebook. Well, no, selling things on Facebook Marketplace because, like, if you're gonna move, you need to sell your stuff because 1, you gain more money, and 2, you have probably a lot of junk that has some value but that you don't value anymore. And I feel for them now. Like, I am on my phone, like, okay, I'm gonna meet you at this time. Okay, I'm gonna meet you at this time. Oh wait, I have someone who's interested like this. I have someone who's interested like this. And like at Marketplace, you have to give people while they want it. You can't wait 24 hours because then they don't want it anymore. Like, it's impulse buying. And so I am like constantly messaging, meet up at this time, meet me at this time. Oh wait, she didn't pick it up. Someone didn't pick up their item and I lost my shit. I was like, you're ruining my whole entire business. Flip the table. And it's just been a lot of work. And, like, no wonder those guys are angry and stressed out. I would never want to run one. I would never want to do it. It's so much work.
Honestly, yeah. It's like, lately it's been like, I'm dating a drug dealer. Like, you are on your phone 24/7. It'll be 12, like, it'll be midnight, and she'll be like, and I'm like, dude, put your phone away.
Yeah, and like, how much do you want for this
and I'm
AC?
like,
how much do you want for this coffee table?
But honestly, you're a generous drug dealer because I know so many that would have just like left you on red, till the next morning, and if you didn't get your weed, then you didn't get your weed.
But to be fair, I've sold a lot of stuff.
That's true, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like you're a nice one because you get to the people real quick.
Yeah, that is true. You know, my favorite thing about it is when I sell the most like cunty pink niche thing, and then I get to meet the girl who's buying it. Like when I sold my pink Barbie clock, the girl, her name had Barbie in it on the Facebook, and she showed up with a pink lace front. Or like the girl who brought like a bunch of my Squishmallows, she showed up dressed as a purple Bratz doll with like the little hat and everything too. Or the girl who bought my doll's kill boots, she had like a snatch bodysuit and lashes that touched her eyebrows. And then I kind of look at them and I'm like, is this a mirror of myself? Is this what I am? But those are my favorite people to sell to because it's just a wake-up call too. A good
Do you like yourself?
Oh, yeah. I always think that they're the cutest things ever. But, like, I see why people may double take because I double take it. I'm like, oh, hi. But they're super cute. But I'm like, maybe this is why people double take. Is not that I'm actually sexy, hot, gorgeous, but that they're a little caught off guard. Wait, since you didn't have anything that you loved and were reminiscing on here, is there anything that you absolutely can't wait to leave? Come on, you gotta give me... If you can tell me what you're missing, I'm sure you could tell me what you're ready to let go of.
Okay, I've actually met some pretty funny people here. And I think I'll actually miss my barber school. Because honestly, the people that we see there are honestly hilarious. Yesterday, I was doing someone's hair. I was doing like a mom's hair, right? And her son is getting a haircut pretty much right next to her on the other side. And all of a sudden, I'm just doing her hair and I just hear, "Is that a boy?" But like the kid screams it and everyone just stares at me, so I look up and I'm like, fuck, he's talking about me. And so then I go, "No man, I just have a cooler haircut than you," which I don't know, that just came out of me. Like I was just like, which was a dig. But
you can dig at kids.
Yeah, I digged at him. I literally went, "It's okay man, I just have a cooler haircut than you." The mom had like another daughter sitting like right there in front of us basically, and the mom, she's trying her best. Homegirl is literally trying her best with her kids. But I can tell that they're from like a rural part of Washington, probably don't have a lot of exposure to gay people. But they had the transgender talk right in front of me. The mom was like, "Okay, also it's not good to assume like someone's gender because, you know, somebody could have a girly voice but be a guy." And the daughter goes, "What? How does that even happen?" And the mom was like, "You know, like some people are just like a different gender, you know, and like that's normal." And the daughter was like, "Ew, like what?" And I was like, I just had to stand here like throughout this transgender talk. And the mom was like, "You know, like your cousin," I guess they have a cousin who's transgender. And the girl goes, "Would you judge her?" And the mom goes, "No, have I ever judged anyone?" And I don't know, they were just having a transgender talk right in front of me, and I was like, this is just such a great day for me.
Hey, you're gonna miss that?
I thought it was funny. I think these are life experiences that kind of like, they do open your eyes. Because, I mean, honestly, good on the mom for like teaching her kids like the right thing. I thought it was actually kind of eye-opening for me, honestly. At first, I was just like a little bit taken back at like the kids like question, but then I laughed. I really did laugh, and I think at the end of the day, like kids are kids, and they are what they're around,
and they have to learn somewhere.
Nature versus nurture. At the end of the day, they're gonna learn it at some point. They just have never been. They probably have never really been exposed to like gay people and stuff like that. So for me, honestly, I thought it was funny. I thought it was a life lesson. Like, okay, like not everyone is terrible, because honestly. Also, when I first saw them, I was like, they're going to be like some type of homophobic. Just because like...
You caught the vibe.
Yeah, like that's the type of vibe I got in the beginning. But the mom was super nice to me. I think she had a really sad story. She was diagnosed with liver cancer? Something like that. So she was losing her hair. So that's why she came in and got a haircut.
Stop, that's so sad.
Yeah, so that's why she came in and got a haircut. Because she...
Poor mom.
She's like, I'm like, girl, you're trying your best, don't worry. Well, that is why I cut it some slack. Because I was like... I can tell y'all as a family aren't going through the best times. Two, like, you tried your best, honey. Like, you really did. You weren't mean to me. Like, you were actually telling your kids, like, the right thing and stuff like that. So I think for me, it was just eye-opening to be like, okay, there's a whole other side of people that, like, you have to give people the chance to show you who they are.
I think I honestly got a little bit sad when I heard the story, not because you said that you're sad, because it just reminded me of like, when I was a kid. I think I've told you, I was a kid. I was like 8, and like I went to private school, so like you had to talk to like the younger kids if they talked to you. Like it wasn't like one of those schools to where you could be like, fuck you, don't talk to me, you know what I mean? Like you would get called into the principal's office for exclusion. And this little girl comes up to me, she grabs my arm, she rubs my arm and goes, "Why are you black?" She goes, "Why are you black?" but like concerned. Like it's like maybe like, what is that on you? Like why? Like it wasn't like mean, but it was, she sounded alarmed. Like
like she was just curious.
Yeah, like she really was confuzzled. She was shook. She was shook. That's because there wasn't a lot of black kids, you know what I mean? And so I just was like, oh, some people are born that way. I don't know. But like I do like have like very vague memories that like I've definitely blocked out from my brain that will probably come back when I'm like 32. And of like younger kids being like, what? You know what I mean? And yeah, like I get that it's important for people to learn and educate. I think that you're better than me because like I think that I am good with adults or like older people and talking about like stuff, you know what I mean? But like it's just felt really awkward all the time for me. But maybe it's like my own personal things, but like me with like that happening, especially when it's like a parent and a kid dynamic and they're teaching through me. I always found that like super kind of like uncomfortable, at least like while I was present, you know what I mean? Like even when my mom has, my sister's light skin and like she's still like very like brown presenting or whatever, but like my mom will have like talks with her about race, whatever, and she'll be like Leia's darker and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, God damn.
That's crazy that your mom actually uses you as
an example.
It's kind of funny.
It's funny.
I mean, I can see like it makes sense. It's probably you're probably the easiest one to use though,
and
since your daughter.
Well.
Yeah, like there's no like. It's no negativity or evilness behind it.
Yeah, no. But it just like, I don't know. I think that I just get very like weird about it. Not mad, not upset, not sad, and just weird. Maybe the feeling would just be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think that I just don't like talking about that kind of stuff unless it's like familiar.
I feel like when it comes to like, I mean, I have never been through it, so like I can't say fully, but I feel like a conversation where like someone's learning through you based on the color of your skin is so much more different than someone learning through you
about gayness.
That
is true.
Because I feel like the color of your skin, you legit had nothing to do with it. Like that is you were born that way. Like you have absolutely nothing to do with it. It's literally just genetics, biological, like, and that's its own thing. But I feel like gayness is just kind of like, it can be new. It's a new thing. I wouldn't say not a new thing. You know what I mean though? Like it's just now starting to really be like.
That's true. Like you can go your whole life and never know someone who's outwardly gay.
Yeah. Like you don't see the gay. I mean, yeah, you see my gayness, but that's because I have short hair.
And you have a gaydar.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a gaydar, if you're in like butt fuck, you may never come across like an openly gay. You may come across a gay person, have no idea, but you may never know an openly gay person ever.
Like you could be white and be gay, but nobody would ever know that, you know? Yeah. But your
people
skin,
don't know
like,
I'm gay half the time.
People know you're black. They can see it on you. So there's like, it's just like, I feel like it's just a different world.
I completely agree. And it's so funny you say that because I was literally, so I got asked to do an interview, guys. I'm not going to say by who, not because it's a secret, but because I don't know if they'll ever air it. I don't know if it will ever be posted, but I did at least do it. So we'll see if I end up making it. But I did an interview and they like asked why I started the podcast. And like, I went over like the whole thing of like how I wanted like a lighthearted thing with intersectionality and all this stuff. I was talking about how like I did it for like when I was listening to podcasts, because I'm a longtime podcast listener. Like I love podcasts. It was really hard for me to find one that was like very like one intersectional, but also it was like this. Okay, if I found a fun, lighthearted podcast, it was very rare that it was by someone like in a minority community. So even though it was fun and they had like things to talk about, I couldn't always resonate with it. And if I found maybe like a podcast that was like made by a gay person or made by a Black person, yes, I would enjoy it and there could be fun things, but then a lot of times it would kind of get like re-traumatizing to where I'd have to hear like some sad news story that I already fucking know about all over again. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I love social justice. I want to make that very clear. But I think that it's important to not always submerge ourselves in the hardships and negativity that we face. You know what I mean? So when I was making Tease, I was like, I want something to where like I can kind of touch on it like how we do, but I don't want to always like be in this like knee deep trying to educate type of place, because I think that we also need a break from that if we're going to like function as okay humans. Like literally in 2020, I was overexposed to like bad news articles that it actually like fucked with my mental health, and I did not want to leave my house. Like I was calling out of work and everything, and I think that's why like I don't want to talk about politics or anything, but like for this election, I kind of took a step back from reading too much, is because the last time I overindulged and then I was just stressed out in my personal life, you know what I mean? And so I think that whenever I would be in that position to where people would learn through me, it just took me back to like, I just want to be a kid on the playground. I literally just want to be a kid on the playground. I don't want to teach this girl about race. I don't want to be a part of the lesson. If you're going to have the lesson, have it without me. But it's like, I literally just want to like be a human and enjoy being a human. And I think that's why I don't like being in that position. You know what I mean? Because I think that it really is hard to like find a place where it can be lighthearted. You know what I mean? And where you're not the brunt of the lesson, you know? Did I say that right? Did that make sense?
No, you did make it. It does make sense. I mean, even then, like, I've learned recently from you to, like, about that kind of, because I feel stupid if I don't know something, or I feel stupid if I'm not, like, looking or reading at something. This election has definitely taught me that I need to take a step back, because I'm going through, like, what you were going through into the 2020 election. Like, I overindulged, and now I'm just stressed out, and now I'm just, like, I don't wake up till like 12 now, because I'm just like, I just want to be in bed. Like I want to ignore the world. And I think it's just something that people do need to talk about, is the fact that you can take a step back, and it doesn't mean you're stupid. I feel though that as long as you know what's going on, I feel like as long as you keep yourself somewhat updated, I just don't think that you should ignore everything that goes on in the world though.
Yeah, I don't think that you should. I think that there is a point of overindulgence. I think that's what I would say that a lot of people probably are going through that same thing. And it doesn't have to be something as extreme as politics or the news. Like it could be someone, maybe let's say someone wanted to lose weight and they're overindulging in a bunch of weight things, a bunch of fads, you know what I mean? And then their perception on the world, they don't want to go outside because they're like, no, everyone's looking at me. You know what I mean? When the truth is no one is. It's just that you've been over consuming that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And so I think that's something that I've been practicing on. In that same article, it asked me like, what's a lesson? And I was like, with the overindulging, like with the podcasts and with everything in life, I am normally an overindulger. The only thing I would say that I have stopped overindulging on is social media and the news. I don't really do those two as much anymore. But social media from like a creator perspective, when I made the podcast and everything, I would overindulge. Like I would be on the podcast account like 24/7. I would be posting for 24/7. I would either be posting, editing, or just looking for results. Like overindulging to where when I got my job at the golf course, I was like actually terrified that I wasn't doing enough. Like I was like, Kai, I've let the whole thing go. I'm slacking. And Kai's like, I don't think that you are. You just haven't been staring at your phone all day. You know what I mean? And so it's possible to like make progress on anything without overindulging. And so like when I was like doing the interview, they asked what's something that you learned. And I was like, you don't have to like be all about something 24/7 for you to be educated, for you to be successful. You know what I mean? I learned that like overindulging like can psych you out so hard, at least for me, that like it can make you want to stay home. And when I feel like that's why you stayed home 2 days in a row.
Oh, I definitely did. I literally was having like anxiety and panic attacks. But I mean, all I can say is like at the end of the day, you can only do so much for the world. It's only you. You're one person. You're not going to help the world by staring at your phone.
Well, you could even change the world as one person, but it's not going to be scrolly.
No, it's not.
It's going to be doing
you have
something.
to do something.
You have to get out of bed and you have to be a part of society. I think it's just that thing of like your phones are this like little thing to where you could either be really productive or you can think you're being really productive.
But you're actually not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you could think you're not doing anything, and then that's when you're accidentally your most productive. Like I'm like, oh, I just scheduled my post. I haven't even been on anything. And then boom, that was way more productive than when I was just standing on it 24/7, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I can say like phones are probably one of the most important things in the world, but also some of the worst things to have ever been created.
It's like because for protection.
Yeah. Honestly, because you have so much at your hands with your phone. Like just your phone alone holds so much information. You can't do it's not going to do anything if you don't take action. It's kind of like a gun. It holds so much bullets, but it's not going to do anything unless you actually press the trigger.
I don't like the word gun. Yeah, I know what you mean though. I got the analogy.
Keep it in. Keep my analogy in.
Okay, I will keep your analogy in. Honestly, I love that we're having this conversation because I feel like the whole like phones can be bad for you talk or this kind of stuff is always led by non-Gen Z people. And like it's always an older generation fucking ragging and bullying us and being like, y'all are the reason why phones are bad and y'all are an example, you know what I mean? And I think it's time that we as Gen Z rip the narrative back and say, we're not stupid and we know a line, you know what I mean? And I just think that it's good that like we're having this conversation because I think too often phones are just like discussed as like they could be bad for you and they're wrong kids' brain. It's really not like that. It's just a really powerful thing that is fucking amazing, but you have to be careful with how you do it, you know? And it makes me think about when we were talking about I can't wait to see how Gen Z parents.
Yeah.
We're so underestimated. We're so people underestimate us so much. But maybe that's like our superpower.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how we raise kids.
I feel like we're gonna raise kids old school. Like they're not all Gen Z's kids gonna get phones at like 14. Okay, I think that we should go ahead and swerve to a game. This will be a very quick game. But Kai showed me this TikTok game called Hear Me Out. So we're supposed to say something and it's like, I guess everyone already knows it. Like it's just hear me out and we say it, right? Okay, so what's the category? Should we do like a Seattle one? Because we both don't like stuff, but if you could pull a hear me out from it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because we both already I feel like me and you have been very negative Nancy about Washington, about all of this, but we've lived here for over 2 years. Let's do a hear me out with it. Hear me out. Still liquor.
No, I was going to say that. There is nothing better than a club full of tech bros, but that plays the best music.
No, well, there's this club in Seattle that's at the very end of Capitol Hill. We would hike to it. So like Capitol Hill is basically like, I think a lot of cities all have like that club block, right? I want you to think of all the clubs on one side, all the way on the west side. And then you have a 10-minute walk in the rain, in the cold. And we would hike that shit drunk. I was in heels, sometimes a mini skirt, getting rained on to go to a club that had the best music. And it wasn't that they had good music. It was just one of the few clubs in Seattle that finally played hip hop because I don't know what's wrong with Seattle. Half of the club is tech bros. The other fourth of the club is lesbians. And the other fourth of the club is just like normal, cool ass, dope ass people who you would expect to find in a club.
But then there's also the tall ass men in one corner.
Yes.
So it's like, actually, I would say it is a club divided into fourths.
Yeah, it's a very diverse, strange club because on one side you have someone throwing up gang signs, and the next thing you have a Texas bro who dances like he just got out of a safari because he doesn't know how to. And it was just, Okay, your turn.
Okay, hear me out. The walk to Still Liquor, that 10-minute walk.
Honestly, it was a lot of fun.
It's actually such a fun walk. You kind of forget that you're freezing. You're kind of just letting life walk you
and
to the
you meet
club.
the craziest people
Yeah.
on the walk. Like the random dude on the corner becomes your friend, or you're like, "Hey man, what's up?" Or you run into your enemy, but it's still funny because it's like,
I would say that's like, it's a runway walk. That's for sure. Like, people see you walk.
honestly, it's how my outfit was seen. My
Yeah.
outfit wasn't seen in the club.
No,
my
it's
outfit
seen
was
on the
walls.
walls. Yeah, yeah.
Hear me out. The military.
What?
I was coming up the elevator today because I finally renewed my car registration after 6 months expired. And I got to cut in front of everyone because I had a military like stuff from you. And I was like, you know what? It's so nice to have benefits. It's so nice. Like, I can't imagine a life to where the movers don't come for free. Our rent isn't paid for. I don't get tax-free liquor. Like, the benefits honestly hit. Maybe they hit for me because I didn't do anything. But, like, it is really
They
nice.
hit. I mean, even I think we mourned my active military ID. We mourned it. Like, I was like sad for like 3 days when I lost it. I was like,
Yeah.
man, my cheap liquor, like, it's never gonna happen again.
Guys, the Amex waives the fucking annual fee for military.
That was supposed to be a secret, but yes,
That's supposed
how
to be
I
a secret?
No,
Oh.
I was just saying, like, I wanted people to know that I was big ballin'.
You are a big ballin'.
But yes, that is how I have every single Amex card. Actually, hear me out. Driving in the rain.
It was the best time to listen to The Weeknd.
I think they can be some very like emotional drives. Like if you're by yourself and you're just driving in the rain. I was like that today. I was like, man, like what has my life come to?
Hear me out. Seasonal depression.
I can't agree. I can't agree.
There's nothing. It's kind of fun, like being cozy in your blanket and not wanting to do anything. Kind of. You get to binge the most TV like that, and you don't see a problem with it.
That's true. Okay, I guess, yeah.
You get to get drunk and not like care
And not care, yeah. Like it's just like life. Like it's just like, yeah. I would say seasonal depression is probably some of our like most fun times actually.
I would actually argue
Yeah.
some of the best times
Yeah.
and the worst of times.
It's like inside mentally you're doing terrible, but like outside you're just like you don't care. Like
we
you
make
have
the
no,
most friends.
Yeah, like you have no care in the world. Like you're just like, man, like I'm already so down. Like nothing can bring me more down.
So whenever you see a Seattle influencer, are they actually cool or are they just
Under
having crippling seasonal depression?
you can look back in the summer and see if they're the same person.
Yeah, I don't think I am.
No. Hear me out. The Seattle crackheads. I think they add character.
Stop! I've never told them the crackhead story yet. Wait, this is honestly such a fun game.
What's the crackhead story?
Guys, while in Seattle, I faced homophobia. Me and Kai were going into M2M, which is like a little like Asian grocery store. And this guy is homeless and on substances. And he goes, hey, y'all got any money? And we're like, no, sorry, we don't have any cash. We come back out and he's like, y'all have any money? And we're like, no, dude, like, I'm sorry, like, we still don't have any cash. And he goes, effing F words. To which we turn around and say, how are you going to call us that when you're asking us for money? Before this is a very important part, guys. I had just tried liquid THC for the first time.
And by trying, she means she downed half of the bottle.
Yeah, if you're not a weed person, they're little tinctures. And I want you to think about a bunch of edibles condensed into a drink and then portioned. I had an op serve me it and I drank half the bottle. So at this point, I'm not having like a high or anything. I am tripping balls. I am like hysterically crying. I am hysterically scared. Like it's one of those things to where it wasn't I feel like normally when people do any type of substance and they trip, they're prepared for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine thinking that you're just smoking weed and then you're tripping balls. I thought that I had to be hospitalized. The guy starts charging at the car. Me and Kai, he's sprinting at the car. It's a big ass man. He's sprinting. Me and Kai hurry up, get in the car, lock the doors. Homeboy jumps on the hood of my car and spits on it. At this point, I feel like I'm in a full-on Pretty Liars horror movie. So then me and Kai proceed to chase this man around in the car, in the safety of our car, with our weapons of choice, which were a perfume bottle from Bath & Body Works, an empty Tylenol bottle because we had hangover headaches, and a bottle of mango juice that we got from N2M. What we were planning on doing with it, to be determined.
I don't know.
But it made for a good story. And then the rest of the drive home, I was actually like...
No, she was tripping.
I was losing my mind. And there's nothing worse than being high next to someone who's sober. And and you're telling me that I've seen crazy, and I'm already going crazy.
Because she was like laughing, crying for 40 minutes? It was like a 40-minute drive home. She is like laughing, but crying hysterically.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And hear me out, the 3 a.m. drive back from Seattle.
No, I don't agree. I disagree.
To me, it was more of the relief when we got to the gate of our apartment. I was like, we're alive!
Okay, I agree with that. Okay, then I would say hear me out. Entering the gate to our apartment after a 3 a.m. drive home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we made it, especially when that one car was coming at us the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have another hear me out.
I don't know about another one either.
Hear me out, Vegas. All right, guys, that is everything that we have for you this week. I will see y'all soon. Next week, there will not be an episode because of moving purposes. I'm not Superwoman and I just couldn't do it, but I will be back in 2 weeks. I will see you next Tease Tuesday, which is November 19th. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, rate, review on Apple and Spotify, 5 stars. Follow the podcast at Tease Pod, at Alea Antoine, at Kai Garcia. Please write in your questions, stories, advice with the link in the description. I will see y'all in 2 Tease Tuesdays. I love you guys. Bye. See y'all in Vegas, bitches.
They're gonna think that's me.
What?